that uh,
Yeah.
once you're on Zoom, you get that feeling. But what I'm talking about is on a mobile call where you're not seeing somebody, you don't get that,
Hmm.
sort of exchange of energy, which
Yeah.
is quite fascinating. And yeah, and it's so many changes, that have taken place, like a wall phone in your kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, I
Things like that,
remember.
which,
Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead, please. Go ahead.
yeah, it's really interesting. And I remember my first phone in my car was it was like a box which I had to attach to the floor of the car and stuff like that. Whereas in today, it's so much easier in many ways.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
everything has a plus and a minus, you know?
So, 100%.
Yeah.
I remember the
Mm.
same thing. Like we used to have one cell phone in the whole family. So that's kind of a thing. And, and
Yeah.
back in days, it was Nokia, which was very popular.
Oh,
So you
yes.
remember that?
Yes.
Nokia. Yeah.
Yes.
And I've also seen with my friend when I used to visit their home, when I was very young, they used to have like one landline in the whole village.
Wow.
Yeah. And they would avoid calling from that landline until and unless it's an emergency
Mm.
because the prices were very high at that time. So what used to
Oh,
happen
yeah.
was the outgoing, it used to cost them, but the incoming was free. So
Yeah.
the family member, those were outside, like on different states, they will call and they will have, they will give them time, by next Monday, I'll call you at this time. So they will ring the phone at
Yeah.
that particular time. And the poor
Interesting.
lady, they used to sit, I've seen,
Yeah.
sitting in lines for calls just to
Yeah.
talk. So
And,
it's
and
amazing how technology has changed.
yeah. And coming back to the conversation about mobile phones and in my car, when I stopped the car and I wanted to take my mobile phone with me, I had to unscrew this box from the car and carry it on my shoulder like this. I mean, it's like today, it's small and fits in your pocket, whereas there, the phone was about this big. And
Yeah,
uh, I mean, it's fascinating, really. So there you
yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so has business changed as well. I mean, you talk about real estate, you talk about other businesses. Earlier, they used to like send mails and
Hmm.
advertise in newspapers. Like newspaper is still happening today, but the entry of social media, the AI and whatnot,
Yeah,
has changed the marketing landscape completely.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But
And
the interesting thing is re I mean, taking all that into consideration,
mhm,
when you are in real estate, the most important thing is to have houses to sell,
yeah,
properties to sell.
absolutely. Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, you can't do that on social media or on the phone or say you got to go to the house and look at the house. You got to feel the house. You got to look at the house, and get that sort of understanding of what this property really looks like and feels like, because the people are going to be going to the house and looking at it. That's going to make up their mind whether they're going to buy it or not. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's how, like, a good agent who has experienced what that feels like and looks like. It's like I remember so many situations where I've walked in and I thought, oh my God, this is not going to sell the way it's looking, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I think like I can remember a very significant memory comes to mind where I was asked to come and have a look at this house, and it had been on the market already with two other agents and not sold. So I went in there and I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, no, no, I mean, this is going back quite a long time ago, but I still remember this very well. And there were a couple in their 60s or 70s, and the buyers for that house were probably going to be in their 30s and 40s. And they had all this old stuff around them, you know? So I actually took it upon myself to bring stuff from my house, change what they had on the wall, the pictures, the ornaments even. And I put a hat stand at the front with scarves and hats on it, and I got them to change the bed linen and make it bright and new, modern looking. And even in the kitchen, I had them put fruit bowls with apples and lemons, get that color differentiation and all
Oh,
that
amazing.
stuff. Yeah, and the interesting thing is, after I did all of that work and we took the photos and everything, in 1 week, I'd already called people and said, come and have a look at this house, you know, and not selling with two other agents. I sold it in just over a week because of the way it looked and presented and got the people emotionally involved and excited about the property. And that was very significant in my head because, you know, dressing up your home today, there are people who are doing that business for you,
Yeah.
you know, whereas then nobody was doing that. I just did it myself, you know. It's really interesting how real estate has changed so much, you know. We're
Well,
talking about,
nobody does that these days. They'll help
eh?
you. I mean, nobody does that these days, what you did. The story you told me about, staging the home using
Mm,
the items
yeah,
from your home. So
yeah.
nobody does that today. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what's also significant in what I'm saying is the at the end of the day, the agent who's going to sell the property
Oh,
has
yeah,
to
absolutely.
visit the house and visit the people and have conversations with them, and they have to decide whether that's the person that they want, because they might call three or four agents, not just
Mm,
yourself,
yeah,
unless
yeah.
you're recommended to them. And so it's interesting because I've had some really, really interesting experiences, you know, with stuff like that. And yeah, it's actually a fascinating industry, which is what I love about it because I really love people, you know, and I want to help
Mm,
people. I mean, that's me because I don't know. And I want to do the best thing for them. And of course, thank God I've been able to do that 1,000 times over. But, you know, it's to put a smile on someone's face. And I think we talked about that beautiful experience I had, you know, with the property in Dunvale. I mean, those are the memories that live on, you know, but
yeah,
it's also this, it's more, the commission is fine, but those experiences are much more important, you know,
yeah,
than the dollars, is what I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah, because the person has to trust you. Now, I mean, what I'm finding, I'm observing the industry as I move on, and dare I say this, the younger people think that, you know, I don't know, to rock up in a really nice car is good, but that's not the most important thing. What's important
Yeah,
thing is what's in your heart, you know,
yeah,
and how you're
absolutely.
coming across. But some people are good at slick talking, shall I say?
Yeah,
And
sure.
and they say they sort of read a book and they learn what to say instead of coming from their heart, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, trust beats everything at the end of the day, doesn't it? Eh?
Yes, absolutely. I've
Uh,
seen that over and over again over the
yeah,
period of time. Like, yes, trust.
yeah.
And it's scarce these days because because of the, everybody can be on social media and it's easy. There's no, the barrier of entry is very low, so anybody can be on social media and spend some money on ads, and there you are, as a real estate agent, as an expert. And people can reach out to you with all sorts of queries, whether they are buying, selling, or investing, right? But then,
Mm,
with the rise of social media and AI, I've also seen, agents ripping off people,
mm.
you know, that's also
Exactly.
happening.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for to a normal person like me, it becomes very difficult to um, create the space wherein one can trust you. So it starts locally, right? When if you wanna, let's say if you're working to make yourself a brand, right? Then
mm,
you start locally and do what is required, all the necessary steps, and then
yeah.
slowly and gradually you create a cult, if I
You
may
know,
say.
the interesting thing, Khalid, is like when someone is deciding to sell a house, they have to then decide who's going to sell it for them. They generally get
Absolutely, yes.
two or three different people to come and have a look. But think about this. The ones who are referred by a happy, satisfied client
Yeah.
are more than likely to be the one to get the
To do
business,
business
right?
with you. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
100%.
what I have an idea which I'd like to discuss with you.
So,
How about, right, if I had a client that referred me to somebody else and I got the business, how about I actually make a donation to that family
hmm, amazing.
instead
Wow.
instead of saying thank you and with a big smile on my face, actually show them my thanks
Yes.
by putting some money in their bank account. I
Yeah.
mean, because I
At the end of the day, action speaks louder than words.
say again.
At the end of the day, action speaks louder than words. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So I think that's something that I'm very keen to do now. I mean, after what, 50 something years in the
Mm.
industry, I can see that it's my way of saying thank you
Yeah.
in a significant way, I mean, so that's something that I think I will put into practice,
Yep.
and maybe we could talk about that, on social media.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Yeah,
Like, uh, I'm thinking to start something wherein I want to go ahead and post because I've not been posting a lot lately.
yeah,
Um, and I should be on social media as well, right? I do manage social media handles of my clients, but not mine.
yeah,
My accounts are empty, be it
yeah,
YouTube, be it um, Instagram, Facebook. So this is the first live that I'm doing today with you,
sure,
and thanks to
sure.
you for agreeing to this. And
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah. Now
But can I
I'm.
just say, I
Mhm.
mean, the most important thing in choosing the agent that, if you really boil it down,
Yeah.
comes to trust. Trust.
Yes.
Now,
Absolutely.
isn't it significant if you're referred to somebody who trusts you already and has experienced you, and they're saying to their friends, here's this person? Trust is so important, and
Yeah.
it's a trust-based decision after that, isn't it? It
Yeah, I
makes
mean,
it so much easier for that person to say, yeah, I'm nominating this person, referring this person because
yeah,
he cared for me and I care for him now, and I
yeah.
want to help him.
It's
So why?
like the trust
Yeah.
is like the big fat value upfront, right? It's
Hmm.
like when somebody wants to talk to you, but they know you because somebody they trust,
Hmm.
trust you. So it's like it comes like that, and it only comes
Exactly.
to you when you do good. And also, I did just recall this uh, an estate agent, with whom I was working, but in US. So this guy had very good reputation in the market, right? But was
Hmm.
not asking. He was getting referrals, but was not asking for referrals in his email campaign or text messaging campaign, whatever he was doing. So all we did was we he had around, I think, 2,500 list of people, active people. Those were reading his emails and all the marketing
Hmm.
messages. So what
Yeah.
I did, I picked 500 out of those 2,500, and I started sending them messages through our automated software. And to my surprise, he got around, I mean, I can give you a rough estimate. Like that month, he got 5 to 7 referrals, new referrals
Hmm.
from the same list, which was sitting
Hmm.
in his database.
Yeah, it's
So it's
interesting.
all about reaching out to people and telling them what you're doing. And, if you have something to offer, sure, go ahead and offer it.
But here's the other side of it, Khalid. In terms of buyers, they come to see the house. They don't know you from a bar of soap, right?
Hmm.
But what I think is important is to chat to that buyer and find out what they're looking for,
Yeah.
and then help them to to decide based on not just liking the place, but significantly what is important to them, and to narrow it down to filter out, if you like, filter out the noise,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I think that's also important to help the buyers. Okay, the buyer's not paying me any money, of course, but I want to help that person
Yeah.
make it easier for them to find a house that they like and they want
Yes.
and not make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because you buy the wrong house, you're in trouble.
And you never know, maybe tomorrow he gives you a referral.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing, isn't it? Eh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. Being professional is most important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you stop to think about it, that person buys that property. Now, how many people really understand that, sure, real estate has its ups and downs,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm, as I said, I've been around over 50 years in this business. In my first sale, right, was in Belgrave South.
Okay. Okay.
I sold this lovely house on a quarter of an acre on the high side of the street with a little stream running through the front
Hmm.
for 12,500. That was the total value of the property then, That was 1974.
How much is
Okay.
that now?
Today, I mean, I haven't visited the house, but I would assume that it's around that $1 million mark today,
Wow.
right? If you do the maths and double that 12 and a half, I think it's
Seven
eight
times,
times, eight
7, 8 times.
times.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the beautiful thing about property.
Yeah.
As I will have this discussion with the stockbroker who's
Yeah.
selling shares. They play around shares, they manipulate the shares. You can't manipulate real estate. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
Absolutely.
And it doubles every 7 to 10 years. That's generally the case, but probably more like 7 or 8 years it doubles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, selling somebody a property which in 8 years is double the price that they paid, it's not a bad feeling. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. That's a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I love about real estate and property. It's so dependable.
Yes, and one should understand that when you are into real estate, like people, normal people like me, when you're not an agent, so you should be into it for a long haul, right?
Hmm.
You buy the
Yeah.
property, you hold it, and when the time is right, you sell it or you rent it. Like the best, I love commercials. I love
Yeah,
commercial real estate because you get your share every month,
that's
in the form
true.
of rentals, right?
Yeah,
So,
but
in
more
your opinion,
importantly,
is it, sure, go ahead.
I was going to say more importantly, the tenant is paying the outgoings.
Yes, absolutely. Which is, you own the property, the tenant is paying, you get the property for free. This is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the lovely thing about properties, it's not just in the buying, it's in the holding.
Yes,
The more you hold, the longer you hold it, the more it goes up in
it
price. So
appreciates. Yeah.
you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when
Yeah.
you
And
move,
if it is yielding rent, my God.
yeah, well, that goes up also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how could I mean, as I mentioned to you before already, I don't watch television at all. I
Hmm.
don't read the newspapers at all. It's full of nonsense and rubbish
Yeah.
and manipulating the public via the newspaper. So I don't go to movies anymore. This is what I love.
Yeah.
It's my
Love your
way of
life. Yeah.
entertaining myself as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
amazing, amazing. I always love having conversation with you regarding real estate and,
yeah,
taking, and we will soon start something similar together there. But for now, and I was thinking, to push whatever we are doing, you and me, in terms of business.
yeah,
I think we should be posting it on social media every
yeah.
week, once a week, I think would be great.
Would make,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah, not for others, but I think for us, so that we can see our journey, where we started and
yeah,
where we landed.
yeah. Because as you can appreciate over the years that I've been dealing with, I'm not just dealing with buyers and sellers. I mean,
Yes.
I'm dealing with people who are marketing people.
Yeah.
So I've come to know the good ones and the not so good ones. And when I compare you to the bulk of the people, I mean, you're significantly different and better,
Thank you so
so
much. Thank you so much.
it's a good thing because again, we both resonate with each other because we're both doing it from our heart,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
wanting the best result for the client. So I
Absolutely. Yeah.
think that's so important. Yeah,
Without a
so
doubt.
yeah, it's fascinating. So
So maybe okay, one more thing I would like to add here is like with real estate, like is it good to get into, like, so that the ones who are listening to or watching this content on internet, so like, is commercial good if someone is starting in real estate? Should they go for a commercial first or residential? What should they do? Like, how should they come up with
yeah,
the investment plan?
the interesting thing is, it's a very good question. I mean, the thing about commercial as opposed to residential, when you look at residential, the rental return is in that region of about 2.5 to 3% return
Hmm.
once you've paid out all the stuff, right? With commercial, the return is much higher than that,
Okay.
and the tenant is paying all the outgoings.
Yeah. So
Otherwise,
isn't like so just to be more specific to our listeners, all right, the ones who are watching this video, like everybody thinks that if they would get into commercial, it is going to like they have to put down a lot of money. Is that true?
sure, I mean, but the same with any property. But what you're saying is that commercial properties are more expensive than houses.
Yes,
But it
yes.
depends on the commercial property you're buying. You can buy a little shop,
Yeah.
which is no different to a house.
Okay.
So, that's the thing. It comes back to what your budget is.
So someone working 9 to 5 can easily get into commercial real estate by,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
targeting to
absolutely.
buy a shop and then you get the rent. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the development we did in Smyrna, I mean,
Hmm.
there was 5 shops there which got sold, and then some of them have been resold in the meantime, and people made
Okay.
money. Whereas when you look at rental properties,
Yeah.
residential, it's not necessarily the same profitability,
Yeah.
even on an ongoing basis. The
Mm-hmm.
return on commercial property, like, I mean, uh, we are offering people like any 10% return on their money.
Hmm.
Sorry, not offering, but that's what the property is giving them, a 10% return on their investment.
Yeah.
Residential doesn't do that for you.
Yeah.
Residential
That's
is
for
more
sure. Yeah.
like three and a half.
Mm. Yeah. I
So,
always tell my clients, those who are doing residential to get into commercial as quick as possible and then, you know, put their
I
time
mean,
and energy so that they
and
can get good
yeah,
commission.
for instance, I mean, if 2 or 3 friends get together, instead of buying
Hmm.
3 houses, they buy one
Yeah.
commercial property.
Yeah.
That's another option.
Oh, yeah.
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 So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's about helping people get, dare I use the word, get wealthy, because healthy and wealthy is very important.
Yes, health and wealth
Yeah,
go hand in
That's
hand.
that's why I get carried away with health as well, because I think it's such an important factor in people's lives, which they're not really thinking about. I mean, I keep saying to my friends, food is your medicine. Medicine is your
Medicine is
food.
your food. Yeah.
I mean, that's why the water I drink comes from a machine, which is set. I can
Yeah.
set the pH of that water because our bodies run at 7.2 pH.
Yeah.
So if it's going into acidic all the time, that makes you sick. So it's interesting, isn't it?
No, yeah, absolutely. I
I
mean,
mean, we could talk about this for hours easily.
yes, yes, yes.
But the people will probably fall asleep by then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. So we'll connect again next week and
yeah,
we'll discuss our whatever the next topic is. All right. And I'll share this video with you as well. And obviously, since we are live, it'll stay there so you can have this
sure.
video, on your timeline as well. So again, it
Yes, please.
was nice connecting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Likewise, yes. As I've said, it's
yeah.
good. Let's keep
Take
doing
care.
it. Yeah.
Yep, we'll
Keep.
keep doing it.
Okay. Okay.
Take
Thank
care. Have a
you.
good one.
See
Bye
you.
bye.
You too. Bye bye.